you're just finding excuses to not do the videos, because if you actually put the time in, I say put the time in, if you actually put a bit of thought into it, it's a lot easier to create them than you actually think. And using your examples then of how to think of ideas, I mean, a few of the questions that people have asked before, or a few comments people are putting in the box, is almost, they're almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy of, what if I can only do one video a month? What if I can only do, a couple of videos, every couple of months? I think the reality is, you're just finding excuses to not do the videos, because if you actually put the time in, if you actually put a bit of thought into it, it's a lot easier to create them than you actually think. For example, this video that Alan and I are doing now on Insta Live is going to be one of my YouTube videos, probably in a couple of days' time. So there's plenty of creative ways to think about how to create content, and on top of that, if you just start, as Alan said at the beginning, documenting, just sit down for 5 minutes before you go to bed each night and record your story, record your journey, or talk about a how-to. Because if you know your space, it's going to be very easy for you to record a how-to anyway. I mean, if I was going to, I don't know, if I'm sat in the office killing time for 5 minutes, I could very quickly record a how to raise finance for a startup business, how to raise finance for a business in the transportation sector. If you know your space, you can bash this stuff out very quickly. And then when you start to think outside the box about how you can share content and cross-pollinate across different platforms, you will then stop thinking about, how can I do this if I don't have time? Because you will have the time. And then the other thing I want to say as well is, a lot of the questions are around hacks, just basically saying, I'm not on YouTube. I'd like to be on YouTube. How can I do it as quick as fucking possible? And how can I get 1 million people watching me tomorrow? And the short answer is, there's always best practices, but there are no hacks. How can I'm sat on Instagram tonight for an hour doing this with Alan and with you guys. How can I do it any quicker? I can't do it any quicker, unless I talk a lot quicker. But if I'm going to do an hour's YouTube, so if I'm going to do an hour's Insta Live each night, then it is going to take an hour of my time, and that is it. And I'm either in it and putting the graft in for the long haul, or I'm not. So I think decide if it's the platform for you. Decide if this whole content creation business is the game for you. And if it isn't, no worries, go and find something else it is. But really, I think unless you're going to do it properly, don't waste your time, because you will, as Alan said, look, it's important to show up. One video is better than no videos. But I would also say, if all you're going to do is do one video and then do nothing for 6 months, and maybe think that you should maybe do another video now, there's probably better ways to spend your time.